there's two fights going on. It's the you can see the inter-party fight and the intra-party fight, and so one of those is much more transparent. Let's just start with the Republicans, like the intra-party, just call it like conflict, right? You got
Disagreement.
a
Yeah.
couple disagreement. Yeah, you've got a couple of holdouts like Thomas Massey, for example, like a couple votes who say no, like do not increase the debt. Like this is going to increase the debt by $2 trillion. We want to see balanced budget, just like things like that to rein in order. Um, and I think ultimately, this is a complicated way to describe this, but the U.S., the federal government, the fiscal situation. Um, I'll make an analogy here. You've gotten yourself to a point where the patient is extremely sick, right? Like just morbidly threatened. Um, we can go through healthcare conditions, to make example, but everybody knows what it looks like for someone to be like in very bad health. And so there's e- everybody I think on the right is aligned around we need to reverse this, like do something about this. Um, and there's a kind of a difference in approach on how you restore the patient back to health, right? And if you think about some of the no votes, you say like, oh, over my cold dead hands, like will I vote for raising of the debt ceiling again, another, let's say, $2 trillion, $3 trillion.
Right.
Yeah, that's uh, intellectually consistent in terms of positioning with what a lot of these members to Congress have ran on, been elected on, and are going to hold, true to their principles. But in reality, like when you're that sick, right, you can't just cold turkey and start doing CrossFit tomorrow, right? Um, you've got
I've
it, or
tried. It's
like
really hard.
today. You can't, yeah, yeah. That first day of CrossFit after you've had a long time off, yeah, you will feel light in the legs for sure. Um, and just imagine, and Cameron's in good health. He's fit, all of
Definitely
that.
not peak physical fitness by far, but yeah.
But it compared to someone who, let's say, has not taken care of themselves, neglected themselves for, generations, multiple decades. You can't just turn this off and switch over to that lifestyle right away. So I think there's that degree, like that kind of disagreement within the Republican bloc itself, which has always kind of existed for the last 10, 15 years. You've seen things like the Freedom Caucus, et cetera.
Right.
You get 7, 8 votes, and you can kind of hold back and like get a lot of things you want out of these bills. You can't control the process, you can't control the legislation, but you can definitely get more than what would otherwise be your fair share of um, just like throw-ins or bonus like add-ins like for your congressional district with that strategic approach than the remainder of the voting coalition. uh so that's the intra party conflict on the Republican side, which I don't think will be the blocker, right? That's not gonna, like, they'll get through that. um what I do see going on right now would be like the difference between the majority and the minority, right? The minority want to, it's the same thing. Like it's not credible for either side of the aisle at this point. Once we get into these budget situations or these reconciliation bills, um, for one side say, no, we care about the national debt. It's like, no, you don't. You both do it. So you're both running it up. Um, so there's no, pedestal to stand on for either side here to take this claim. Like you're threatening the fiscal soundness of like
That's a
the
key
federal
point I think I
government
want to
already.
highlight there is like you hear these sound bites from some of these senators and Congress people saying, "Oh, like the CBO says this is going to increase the federal deficit by trillions," and then you sit there and say, "Well, what was the alternative?
Yeah.
Your
It's going
proposal
to
would
go,
have been worse or the same, right?"
it's,
So
yeah, it's going to go up either way. And the question is who gets what, or where does the spending actually go? That's that's where the battle is. And there's between both sides, there's a different set of priorities. Now, the Republican Congress, I think its majority is like 2 votes, so it doesn't have a huge margin. So it needs to get its entire coalition to vote, and this thing will pass. Like we're gonna find that middle ground between the bid and the ask that satisfies all constituents, and um, the aligned government between Congress, Senate, and executive branch. Like they're going to have this done by the next fiscal year. And that's what that prediction market is showing on the left. I guess the big thing is the runoff and the June series, which I think is in green. It's just going down and to the right. So this isn't going to resolve itself within June, but July, August, there's still time to get this done. And it's just, um, it's just going to take, weeks, potentially months, a couple of months to put this together and ship it, if you will.